Less than 2 weeks until the midterms, and one of the closest congressional races in the country is California's newly drawn 45th district in Orange County and some of LA County between incumbent Republican Michelle Steele and Navy Lieutenant Commander Chen.
We offered Congresswoman Steele a chance to join us, but she declined. Her challenger, however, accepted, and that is Lieutenant Commander Chen. And we welcome him to the program tonight. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Marla and Alex, for having me.
We always like to start off asking the candidate, that would be you tonight, what is the biggest differentiating factor between you and your challenger?
Well, I think the biggest differentiator is the fact that I'm here. I'm willing to answer questions, willing to speak to the press and to voters, and also, engage in debates and forums, but she's refused all of them. And I think that reflects a fundamentally different view of democracy. And really, democracy is what's at stake with this election. We saw what happened on January 6th, the insurrection that took place, and I swore an oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And so that took me to the Middle East for deployment. But also I know that back home here domestically, we have a lot of issues. We've got to tackle inflation, make sure we improve the economy so that it works for everyone, make sure that we protect our rights, and make sure that we keep our kids safe.
Yeah, I mean, it is quite something, her strategy. Not only does she refuse all debates, including one that we proposed with you two on our political show, The Issue Is, she's refusing to do any interviews, like a one-on-one interview with us about any of the issues, when your job is literally to speak on the floor of Congress.
Right.
What do you make of that strategy? Why do you think she's doing that?
Well, I think it's very clear. She does not have a record to run on, and she's taken votes that run counter to the interests of this district, and she has no ability to explain her votes. For example, she voted against lowering the price of gasoline. She voted against allowing Medicare to negotiate drug prices with pharmaceutical companies that brings down the prices that we pay every day. And she, sided with the gun lobby and voted against common sense gun violence legislation. And obviously, she doesn't want to explain her stance on abortion. She wants a federal ban on abortion without exceptions for the health of the mother, rape, or incest. And while we have laws that protect us now in California, a federal ban would override all of those protections.
There's been a lot of attention that has been paid to some ads, and these ads are really targeting you, painting you as sort of the Chinese communist candidate, saying that you'll bring these teachings into the classroom. What's your response to these ads?
Well, I think it's really disappointing that Michelle Steele is resorting to these really xenophobic ads that are trying to paint me as un-American.
Yeah, well, and let's show some of them so people understand what we're talking about.
China intimidates the NBA and strong arms Hollywood. China has enormous power in America. In Korea, my family fled their home from a communist-backed invasion. That is why I'm fighting to ban communist propaganda in our schools and stop their corrupt trade deals.
All right, so there's an example. Your response?
Well, she's really trying to play on Red Scare tactics. That's what she's trying to do. And let me tell you, my grandmother fled China for Taiwan during the Civil War to escape communism. My parents are from Taiwan. And when missiles were launched over that island recently, my mother, my father, my brother were all in Taiwan. So we understand the threat of communist China. I'm also a part of 7th Fleet. And 7th Fleet is tasked with monitoring the South China Sea and ensuring that we have freedom of navigation. And, what she's trying to do is paint me as un-American. And I think that's really sad. And look, I brought this medal. This is a medal that I received for my deployment to the Middle East to confront ISIS. I led an intelligence team. And of all the soldiers, sailors, and Marines that served with me, not a single one ever questioned my loyalty or my patriotism. And I think it's sad that she's putting out these ads. And I want to have a message to all the little kids that are out there who, unfortunately, they've been exposed to this. And they may be a little bit concerned or confused, and maybe they felt a little out of place before. And I want to send them a message that don't let anyone ever let you feel like you don't belong and that you are un-American. And it's really sad that we are in a state where a politician would resort to that kind of divisiveness to try to win political points.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, and of course, those attack ads have been widely condemned by a lot of different Asian American groups. Michelle Steele is welcome to come on and talk about why she's made that strategy and talk about the issues as well. We hope that she will. We're glad that you did. Lieutenant Commander Chen, you deserve points for coming on and answering questions.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.